Do you remember what the Chinese shop was called where you grew up when you were a kid?
No clue.
Oh, mine was the Golden Dragon in
No
Balgowlah. It was great. It was there for like, I don't know, 25 years and then it just disappeared.
Yeah.
Golden Dragon.
Now I know exactly.
Go on.
No, I was going to say I knew exactly what it looked like and everything, and it was amazing. It was super old school,
They all were
Chinese restaurant. Yeah, but now it's gone.
That was such a big deal when I was growing up in the, like, I guess, 70s and early 80s. Like, for us to go out to dinner as a family, big deal.
Do you know what?
A big deal.
I was talking to my mum over Christmas and New Year's period when I was visiting her, and she was like, she told me, she was like, we never got takeout as a family growing up. Never. We never went out to dinner once. And I was like, not even once. And she was like, nope. Welcome to the podcast for 2025.
I feel like I should jump through a hoop or something.
Yeah. Or spin some ribbon.
That sounded like a ringmaster at the circus.
Well, I don't know if our last episode will air or not, but we did an end of year wrap up.
No, it'll air.
And I was so negative.
Yeah. So let's be positive.
So this is a year of positivity.
Yeah. I'm going to be like completely different to my first 53 years of life. I'm going to be super positive.
Last year, I think I was very like waves.
It'll be the same.
Well, I feel like we've got a lot more happening this year.
In what sense?
In the sense that we're going to Japan.
Yeah.
We're going to do a big buy trip in the middle of the year.
Yeah. Vintage trip.
Yep. You don't care about this, but I'm going to go snowboarding in Australia again because I'm fucking healed from my ACL. Actually, I'm not. But, sorry,
You've got 4 weeks.
I've got 5 weeks.
You better be.
Actually, little update on that. I went and had a Biodex test yesterday.
Hang on. You can't just say that. Like, anybody knows what that is.
A Biodex test, I don't know what it is. So anyway, they strapped me into a machine. Mm-hmm. So they strapped my body and hips down so I've like got something to push against. And then there's a machine and it goes like that. And I've got to push as hard as I can up and down. So it measures my quad and hamstring strength on my good leg. And then I do it on my bad leg. So it measures how weak I am. I'm actually technically not cleared to return to sport. But I have 5 weeks and I saw my physio today and he was like, don't worry, it's all good because I'm not returning to contact sport or anything like that. Normally it's like...
You contact the odd tree here and there.
I know.
I've seen you contact things.
That's what I had a conversation with him today and I said, look, I don't want to go and be like, oh, I'll just stick to green runs. That's not happening. I said to him, my physio, I was like, I'm going and I'm riding deep powder and tree runs. And he was just like, yeah, okay, you'll be fine. It's more like, he goes, your ACL has healed.
Yeah.
Like the actual...
This is the first time I've been concerned now. So what the fuck am I doing for 3 weeks if you're...
No. Okay, let me explain this properly. It takes 12 months to be completely, for the ACL to turn from a muscle, which they take a hamstring graft and they put a piece of hamstring muscle in the middle of your knee to replace the
ligament.
They say that the re-injury rate between 6 and 9 months is really, really high because that's the time period where it hasn't fully turned from a muscle into a ligament again. I
didn't even know that was possible, but yeah.
I didn't know it either.
I thought it just stayed a muscle but was replacing a ligament.
It actually changes into a ligament again.
Really? It takes 10 years for ligaments in your fingers to get strong.
Well, I don't know. But that's a transition period where it's changing. And a lot of people at the 6-month mark go, oh, I'm feeling good. I can run again. I'm in the gym again. And then they start to push it and re-injure. Right. So that's why.
So how close are you?
Well, I'm 12 months. So it's.
Yeah, but what's your.
So ideally.
Power difference?
I think I'm 13% weaker in my quad.
It's only your front foot, right?
Yeah, it's my front foot. So I'm 13% weaker in my quad in comparison to my good leg. Yeah. And ideally, you'd like to be in the 10% range. So I'm not far off.
Close enough.
And then my hamstring is like, I think 17%.
Right.
So.
Close.
But I've got 5 weeks to do some hectic training. But in terms of the actual injury and the ACL, that's healed.
Yeah, cool.
It's now more just like getting that leg to be as strong as my other leg. So I'm equal both sides.
Yeah, cool. Sick.
There you go. That's my little life update.
Yeah, it'll be sweet. What else is happening this year? So Japan, buy trip. Mm-hmm. Japan, snowboarding. Japan, buy trip. It's going to be hard to go to Japan and not buy any vintage. I keep thinking at least a few boxes will have to come back.
Really?
Probably.
I don't have the time for it in my trip.
No, we'll find a day. We'll find a day somewhere where we've driven all day and we can't ride because it's 3 in the arvo.
We may have a little sneaky buy trip in our trip.
We might be able to get some shit out of there. Just box it up, send it back. Won't carry it back.
No, that's a bit hard.
No, 6 weeks later it'll turn up, sort of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Northern Hemisphere is looking really good.
Yeah.
The other things that are happening at borders, though, the print shop's getting prioritised, right?
Yeah, that's
a majorly important part of the business.
Massively.
So if you need any T-shirts, hit us up. Mm-hmm. Hoodies, hats. Don't know what else we do. Tote bags.
Tote bags.
We do all sorts of shit.
Heaps of stuff.
So, yeah.
There's a lot of shit we can print on, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's good. So yeah, if you want any of that, come and see us. So, the tuning shop is now fucking amazing.
Tell us about your new machine. Because you're very happy.
It's a Winter Steiger.
Did we go? I can't even remember what we talked about the last time. Did we go into depth of what happened with the old machine?
I don't know.
We'll just do a little recap in case someone hasn't listened to that particular episode.
I don't know if we ever talked about it. The old machine, which we bought 2 years ago, secondhand from a shop in Jindy, that was like a rental. I can't remember what they did. They were like a rental ski shop, but we bought their old Reichmann bass grinder, which is all it was a bass grinder when you think about it. It was fucking massive.
And we got their side edger.
Oh, yeah, but that's still running. The side edge is fine. So the new machine has a side edger. It also has a bass grinder, belt grinder, and a stone grinder. And you can adjust the texturing for the stone. It's a fucking great machine. It's just a really compact, well-designed, tidy machine that doesn't have fucking water going everywhere, and it's all really contained. It's really nice to use. It's more dangerous, I think, to use. It's got more things where you can get your hands jammed and shit can go wrong. But yeah, the stuff coming off it looks great. I'm really happy with it.
You're happy with the tunes coming off it in comparison to our old machine? I'm
stoked. The machine, the ability to adjust things like feed pressure and just the way the machine works. Like now,
can you say that in like layman terms? Because not everyone understands what's involved in a snowboard tune.
I'm sure everyone at some point who snowboards has taken their board somewhere and got it back and like gone, holy fuck, this looks a lot thinner. The edge looks a lot thinner, or they've taken tons of base material off or whatever. And because they don't adjust the feed pressures properly, they just over grind or they just basically can destroy a board by tuning. So tuning's like an art form.
And then could they do too little and not have the board?
Yeah, they could do nothing and just sort of half glide it over the belt and don't do anything too. So it's all a bit of an art form. You just slowly figure out where things need to be, how they need to be, what you need to do to get certain looks on certain bases, and how to open the pores of the base up and get the right amount of wax in and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I'm just, as a person who loves that sort of shit, we've bought the ultimate machine that's not a robot per se, like you're not just programming it. and chucking it in at one end, you know, you're basically still hand tuning to a certain extent, but it goes over the belts and stones by itself. You don't have to put the pressure on. You're adjusting pressure, but yeah, it's not a total robot, so it's much nicer to use. The old machine was too manual. Like, it was so manual, you couldn't adjust anything. You just had to fucking go over it 400 times to get a board to look good, and it was shit.
The stone grind?
The stone grind's awesome. Yeah. I love being able to stone grind. I wish the old stone grinder worked the way this one did. This machine dresses the stone perfectly. It's got a diamond cutting blade that dresses it. I can put cross hatching or horizontal lines, whatever the fuck you want.
And so that's ideal for someone who is either like racing or has a high-end board.
It's good for anyone, especially in Australia. It stops the board from being sticky, because it creates air between the base and the snow. So it's like a tiniest little pressure groove it puts on it.
So no matter
the 1/10 of a millimeter.
So question, because I'm also just helping people understand better, but no matter the level of board that you're riding, a stone grind will still have an effect on your board.
Even on an extruded base where the base is kind of shit and designed for durability and riding in the park and whatever, if you put a stone grind on it, it'll run a bit faster, a fair bit faster. It just clears water underneath the board. If I got any new board that's not got texture on it, I would put texture on it. So yeah, even a brand new out of the box board, I'd put through a stone grind. Doesn't hurt the board, especially if you get the pressures right. Like, if I crank it right up, you can really put grooves in it. But
interesting.
You wouldn't do that.
No. So, unless you were like racing?
Even then, it seems a bit stupid because you take so much life out of your board.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, tuning's an art form. If you want it done, bring it to me. I'll do it. There's about 30 came in, 30 boards and skis over the last day and a bit. Probably 50, actually.
Are going to Japan right now.
Where do you reckon the top 5 spots in Japan are this year? I can
tell you.
I ask every single customer. I don't think Nazao's number 1, but it's up there.
Top 5. I don't know exact
top 5,
order.
Not in order. Go.
Not in order. Niseko.
Yeah.
Nazawa.
Yeah.
Shiga.
Yeah. Which is weird. Shiga Kogan never used to be in that top 5.
Hakuba.
Yeah.
And Rizutsu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Follow the epic class.
Ding, ding, ding.
So in order, Hakuba.
Yep.
Niseko, Nizawa, Shiga, Rizutsu.
Really? Because my response, my thing would be Niseko number 1.
Yeah, no, not anymore.
I'm getting so many people that are going to Niseko. I'm asking in the shop too.
Yeah, but you're barely in there. In reality, I've probably been in there 10 times more over the last month for sure. Maybe 4 days where I had off, but other than that, you weren't even here, mate.
I know, over the Christmas New Year's period I wasn't, but...
I'm 100% sure Hakuba's number 1.
Okay.
That epic pass has changed everything. I think the icon pass works for Niseko, you know, so threadbow people.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm sure Hakuba's so much bigger. 7 mountains. It's not a bigger town.
A lot of people who I've spoken to are going to Niseko as well.
Okay,
Those
so
are the top 5.
Hakuba and Niseko, arguably 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Not sure what order. Nizao is definitely number 3 now.
Sure, 100%.
Yeah. I had a family come in the other day and tell me that they were going to this place that no one's even heard of, and it's going to be awesome because it's going to be no Australians there. And I was like, oh, where are you going? And they went, Nizao. I was like, oh, fuck. Should I break it to them? Or should I just let them go and figure out that they're not the first voice they're going to hear is going to be, g'day, mate.
That sentence was probably true about 5,
maybe
10
longer. Probably
years.
10 now. Yeah.
Even 5 years ago, it was still...
The only other places I'm hearing like regularly is like Matarao. You still hear that quite regularly. You hear Miyoko still quite regularly. Miyoko's not in the top 5 anymore. That was huge 5 years ago. Miyoko was like the new hotspot, but...
Why is everyone going to Nizawa and Shiga?
Nizawa's got a great village.
Yeah, right.
Shiga, I don't know. Like, it's just because it's near Nizawa. So they're finding them because they don't.
I think Nassau has been promoted heaps because it's got so many onsens.
Maybe. It's called Nassau onsen.
Well, a lot of them are now onsens.
Yeah. Shiga Kogan. It's not onsen. Yeah, I don't like. The reality is the whole country is covered in onsens. It's volcanic. But yeah, I don't know. I guess Australians, like, I don't want to speak badly of anyone, but it's kind of got that. No, I don't.
Ruin your positivity streak.
No, it's not positive. No, it's not negative. It's like there's this sheep mentality. Everyone goes to Huckabee, then they go to Myoko, then they find Nazawa because it's nearby, and then they find Shiga because it's nearby. You know, they'll find them that way because they just go in little pieces. We don't do that. We go 500 kilometers out of the way.
Yeah.
And work our way back.
I was even looking on a map the other day for where you and I could go. That I was like trying to like zoom in and like go to obscure places. And then there was one that I found and I was like, fuck, that looks really cool. And I like read the name of the resort and I was like, fuck, I've heard someone say that before. Not there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and that's like way up north, like in the middle of nowhere, like hard to get to. And I was like,
there'll be no one there. Like just because you've heard it doesn't mean there's going to be hundreds of Aussies.
No.
There might be one family or one dude with a crew of guys and you'll never see them.
No.
I reckon I've got us like an area that is pretty much untapped. Like I think it's very tappable.
I've been doing some like
it's 5 Google or 6 searches. Good mountains by the looks of it in a tight
area. And we'll let you all know when we're back.
I think we should just I think this time like we won't secret. Sure, we've got so many spots that we don't talk about. And also
like families can't do what we're doing. It's pretty.
No, it's always going to be missions with boys or whatever.
And that's fine. Like you guys can.
Yeah, they don't get in the way.
But yeah, we'll document our trip.
Yeah, for sure. What are you going to ride?
Oh, I still don't know. I think the lib rig.
I'm taking a lib rig. You're taking a lib rig.
Yep, in a 150.
3.
I always wig out and then I go, no, Claire,
ride's super short.
Yeah, I know this, but.
You rode a 5.2 dart.
Yeah, and
you didn't think it was long at all. And they don't ride short, they ride to their length.
Yeah.
Apparently the lib rigs ride 3 to 5 centimeters shorter. So 153 is really a 5 for 8, 150. I'm going to ride a 156, which rides like a 153.
Yeah, and perfect.
Marcus rides he's shorter than you. He rides the 5.3.
Yeah, okay.
He's got smaller feet than you too, probably, or about the same.
No.
You're just size 7 men's.
I'm size 6 men's.
Oh, okay. There you go. He weighs 70 kilos.
Don't know what other board I'm taking yet, though. Or boards, I'm still on the fence. I would like to take a Salomon board, and depending on whether Marcus gets an Orca or not.
Yeah, that's up in the air because there's only one apparently floating around in your size.
Really want to ride that.
4.7 Orca.
Yeah.
They ride 4.7. That'll ride like a 4.7.
Sick.
Yeah. I don't think I'll take my Orca. Marcus has convinced me the lib rig's going to change everything for me.
Cool.
So do I need an Orca as well?
You've ridden it so many times.
It's the other thing, right? I really want to go over there and be able to come back with info for consumers and go, all right, if you've had an Orca, the lib rig's better. If you've had a mind expander, such and such is better, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to take my mind expander.
I think I'm going to take a K2. I think Chunk said it's called an excavator, mate.
Oh, yep.
Not the, I don't know, maybe not the excavator. And I'll let you know when I know. What do you? I'm not going to take my mind expander. No way. I've ridden it
too many times
to death. I know what it does.
I would like to take like an HPS Wally or.
I want to take a Wally
or a Taka.
Yeah.
I just got to.
Jordan. Sort us out, dude.
We need to get sizes right.
We've got everyone else. I don't know where the fuck Salomon are. They're not back at work yet. Get back to work. I think we need to take as many variants of boards as possible.
Yeah.
So we can be honest and tell people what we actually think. I don't really want to take 4 boards, but I really want to ride that Joyride Strateria or whatever it's called. I had to play with it today. It's big. It's 5'8", which is big-ish for me these days. But fuck, the tail on it is like poppy as hell and sort of stiff, but not obnoxious. And the nose feels soft. And it's camber. It's got a huge nose, but it's still camber. It's not like everything else is back seat camber these days, where the camber starts behind your front foot. That one doesn't. It goes to a fairly traditional. So
would you take that as like your daily driver board? That still
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Apparently, Clump at Rhythm loves it. He's probably a pretty good judge, I'm guessing, but I've never really ridden or seen him ride, so I don't know. I don't know what. That's the other thing, right? It's, when we're talking about boards, we're talking about them from our perspective. It doesn't mean everybody else is going to get what we get out of them.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're riding the same binding and the same boot and the same board and you have a similar body shape and whatever, you probably feel different things. So it'll be interesting for us to both ride the lib rig.
Yeah, you're convincing me to take that.
Well, I think 100% you should take that.
Yeah, but what if I get, like, what if there's an Orca available?
Still take the lib rig.
Yeah. I'm getting convinced to take it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I did some research as well, and I'm kind of like, this is really interesting.
Man, everybody's raving about it. All we can do is ride them, find out. And I won't be totally devastated if I don't go over there with a full-on fish, as long as I've got something heavily volume shifted that can float. This K2 board that Chunk's talking about says like kind of the replacement for the party platter.
Oh, yeah,
He said it's just fucking amazing in powder. So
that was fun to ride. That was a fun little board.
Yeah. I can't believe the two brands I'm most excited to ride these days are ski brands.
K2
and Salomon.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's heaps of snowboard shops in Australia that won't sell them because they're ski brands. And I'd argue that they're making some of the best boards on the planet. It's such an ignorant... Ooh, now I'm having a go at other shops. No. It's a bit of an ignorant thing, though, isn't it? To not stock certain
They're
brands.
sticking there with their...
I don't stock Burton, so I'm ignorant.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Fuck Burton. How's my positivity going for 2025?
Oh, fucking it's
Woo!
fucking up and down.
Anyway.
But another positive subject is the fucking weather.
Oh, yeah.
In Japan.
Not just Japan.
States is a bit...
Yeah, it depends where in the
States. But Europe's looking amazing.
Yeah. Some parts of Europe.
Canada?
Canada's been good so far. Yeah.
So...
Yeah, and I'm talking to people going to places like... I spoke to a guy today who's going to Utah. He bought the Shadowfit Salomons. He was like super excited to ride them. I'm like, dude, you're going to love these fucking things. Utah apparently has had okay start, nothing crazy. Still fairly early.
So
you think
early.
it's only January 7.
And I had this like weird thought, and I know this is like so ridiculous, but I was kind of like, oh, I hope it keeps snowing.
It's early.
It's so early that I'm like, oh, is it gonna like dump for the first like half and then dry up in the second half?
The long ranges are great.
And then I'm like, Claire, don't be a fucking idiot. Yeah. You'll be fine.
Yeah. This week's really dry in Japan. There's no snow this week.
And then a big front coming.
There's front after front coming.
Yeah.
The long rangers say that the next 2 months will be fucking good. So that's mid-March before there's any issues.
Perfect. That's when I leave.
Who cares? Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's when I leave Japan.
Yeah.
Is mid-March.
Yeah, it doesn't make... I don't think you're going to have... I mean, fuck. I put it on our Instagram, like a guy with a probe up in Hokkaido. It was a 5-meter probe, and he's standing just somewhere in Hokkaido, and he's fucking pushing the thing down, and it went down. There was that much of it left. And like that's how lightly packed it is too. He was able to push it right down 5 meters.
Oh, that's just the most beautiful thing because you know, like the feeling of bottomless is what you want.
Yeah, it's all you care about. Like powder's great, but if you can still feel the bottom where it's going, it's only 70% great. And then if it keeps snowing and the next day is on top of that, you don't feel the bottom anymore.
Powder on powder.
If you've never had that feeling, I highly recommend you keep searching for it.
Yeah.
Because I live for it.
If you haven't, get on a plane to Japan and go this season,
and
because you will get it.
Yeah, you've got to go long enough to get that day.
Yeah, that's
unless
the key.
It's this year where it seems like
it's going to be almost every second day.
I spoke to my friends who are over there and they're getting it. They've been bottomless the whole time.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's so good. Because a lot of people who leave end of December, it's like touch and go normally of whether you'll have snow at all. But
it's highly risky at late December.
It's like before Christmas, it just switched on.
Nisiko's saying 68-year high.
Yeah.
68-year records are being broken. So I've got another friend who's over there and his daughter dropped their phone and 2 days later they found the phone. They went back and dug for it and found it.
Crazy.
It was still working too. Yeah. Battery was probably dead, but 2 days later they found the phone. They figured out where they dropped it and went back there and got it.
Bizarre.
Yeah. I can only imagine how that went down in that family. It would have been fucking hilarious to be there.
Oh, you told me a fun fact about Japan.
Children?
The jaywalking.
Yeah, why don't people jaywalk?
Well, not jaywalking, even. We've been on this podcast before and we've said that
one of the
most frustrating things that towards the end of the trip, you're at a stoplight, there's no cars coming and people will stop and wait and you're just like, just fucking cross the road.
Nobody crosses the road on a red light, even if there's no possibility. You can see as far as the eye can see, there's no cars or whatever, but no one crosses the road. And I found out from our staff member, Susie, who's a fluent Japanese speaker, half Japanese, the reason for that is the children. And I was like, what? What do you mean the children? She went, well, Japan, children just walk home alone or in little groups of kids with no
after
adult
school
supervision.
And everything,
which we can go into in a sec. But the reason they walk home alone in groups or whatever, and if they see an adult jaywalking, they'll do it. They'll copy what adults do. So no adults will jaywalk in case a kid sees them.
I think that's so beautiful. And like, because we've seen school kids after thing and they're like 4 years old. Bag is like bigger
as them.
Yeah, and they're all just walking in twos or threes or on their own or in a little group.
Adults.
No adults. And we're like, what's going on? And like, it's the community's job to take care of the children.
Yeah. Once, I think really early on in my trips to Japan, I once asked someone who looks after the kids. It's crazy. And their answer was everybody.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. Everybody's
watching out for the kids all the time. So if you jaywalk, you're setting a bad example for the kids because there's no adult there to say, don't do that. That guy's an idiot.
Yeah. So if you're visiting Japan, stick by their rules because everything has a reason.
Yeah, there's nothing happens in Japan for no reason. Nothing. So just don't be a dick. Don't be a dumb bogan Aussie and just cross the road on a red light. Just wait. There's a reason for the red light. The reason that nobody's running across a red light. Nobody's running across an empty road.
I will never do that again.
No, me either.
When you told me that, I was like, that makes so much sense.
To be fair, I've never done it in front of a kid, but I've definitely crossed it.
You don't know though. Like
no, I don't.
A kid could be
standing
at the 7-Eleven.
Who knows? Yeah, it's now I know. I'll never do it again.
Yeah, we've definitely done it. We've definitely
I've come home drunk at night and just wandered across the street.
We've even been in
I'm guessing the kids should be in bed by then.
When we're walking around Nagano and like there's that main strip and there's like barely ever cars and we were just nuts, and we're just saying there going, this is ridiculous. And you can see that the little man has like 5 white stripes and you're like, I'm not waiting that long.
So long.
And it's like middle of the day, no cars, and you're like, fuck it. I'm just going to
walk
across.
No one else does it, and now we know.
They just stand there. And even you'll notice in Australia, if you do that and cross the road, people next to you follow suit and follow you. So even adults do it.
Yeah.
So
it makes that sheep mentality.
It makes sense that kids would copy you.
Yeah. Nothing in Japan is by mistake. Literally nothing. The reason they're very good at everything they do is because they're just very, very calculated. They think about things. There's, anyway. It's wild.
Yeah. I think it's really cool that the whole community looks after the kids and it's their responsibility to bring up the whole.
Yeah, so that got off track a bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
We're not sure what boards we're taking. We'll let you know. I'm just going to take, unless I get brand new boots, which makes no serious sense, unless my old ones are cooked. I've got to get them out.
I'm getting new boots and bindings. They're going to be both Salomon.
You have to get new bindings.
Yeah,
boots.
I don't have bindings.
All right.
No, I gave them to someone.
Someone?
Yeah, because I changed boots and my boot didn't fit in the binding
boot
anymore.
Size changed, yeah, right. Yeah, I don't need particularly new bindings. I could do with some new boots. Mine are getting a bit old, but as long as the sole's still attached to them, I don't really care. I'll probably pull the liner out of my old boot and put it in my new boot anyway.
Just take your footbed out.
Yeah, my liners are very well molded. Anyway, we do weird stuff with that stuff, but I'll still ride Salomon boots and bindings. I don't think that'll change. No one's going to convince me otherwise, I don't think. But I'm going to, everything else under control. I want to take some, I've got heaps of goggles. I've got heaps of different brand goggles.
We did last time a little, like what's in your board bag last year. We could probably do that
just
again
before
we fly out,
yeah.
To actually go, what are we actually taking?
Yeah. Yeah, but I won't see any massive change in anything I'm using in my board bag unless some kind rep decides to give me a whole stack of new shit. My board bag's changed because my old one's got a hole in it. I'm taking a Quicksilver board bag because I have no choice. There's no other board bags.
Zip broke on your old one.
Yeah, my zip broke on, my old bag was 15 years old though.
Yeah. Snowboard bags last that long.
Yeah, they're not a bad investment. Everyone freaks out. Go, you're really $250 for a board just because it's got wheels.
It's like, mate, 20 years.
It's $20 a year. It's not much. Get over it. I can't see myself doing anything crazy though, as far as equipment goes.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
It's Japan related. On our trip, because we're going into different areas this time and exploring out, are we going to stop in Nagano and get a spicy miso ramen? I want to know your answer.
Fuck. I have thought about it a lot. I actually told some people about that place. I don't feel like I'm blowing it up. I don't care. They were telling me they had a date. They accidentally fucked up their booking, so they've got a night in Nagano. And I was like,
we've told everyone where it is.
Yeah. You've got to go to this place. I'm like,
this is the one thing that's like,
he was like, you're more excited about this than the snowboarding. And I'm like, you don't understand. I don't know. Like, I don't see us being in Nagano.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? I mean, it would be a weird way to end up. I mean, I don't think we'll be in Nagano.
Yeah,
the highways don't make sense.
And it depends on which way we go. But it's a little out of
Unless
the way.
we started below Nagano. Like if the snow's really good down below Nagano, some of those resorts. Up. Remember the one that guy told us about?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I've got it pin dropped in my Google Maps.
Yeah. It just depends how big an area I want to cover. How much driving do we want to do? How much riding do we want to do?
Yeah.
But I don't see us being around that Huckleberry area much.
So are you gonna miss it?
No, I'll miss it. I won't miss it in May though. Probably go straight there.
Yeah.
Just start in Nagano and do the loop, the mega loop down.
Do a loop again?
We know it.
Yeah.
Do you really need to go anywhere else? It's not like the stock's going to be the same.
No, but I had another slight different plan.
An up loop?
Maybe longer in the outskirts of one particular area.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We'll go into the details later. You guys don't need to know that.
We'll never go into those details.
No. No, there's an area that I want to explore. But anyway.
Far as skateboarding goes, I seriously think that was the quietest skateboard Christmas in the history of our shop.
Yeah, it was so heavy snow that
it still is. Like we're on January 6th and today was 85% snow. It's not a couple of skateboards, but it's 85% snow. It's wildly weird what's happened with skateboarding.
Yeah, everyone is going to Japan this year,
Yeah.
or even traveling overseas. But I reckon 80% of the travelers are Japan right now.
Yeah, my theory is e-bikes have eaten up skateboarding by accident. Like the northern beaches, the kids have all got money, and they've all almost have all of them have e-bikes. There's fucking roadies everywhere.
Yeah, so you don't need a skateboard to get.
There's no transport use
anymore.
of a skateboard, no.
And then I think there's a lot of parents and kids who are like, not parents, but kids who are remaining on scooters.
Man, I'm seeing teenagers on scooters again for sure.
And like, I've had like parents been like, when they're at the young age, they're like, oh, I'm trying to get him on a skateboard, but
it's funny that the parents have to drive it.
Yeah.
That's so fucking weird in itself.
Well, like, because they're like that younger generation. They're that, I guess, your generation.
And I do.
And they're like,
my generation.
Or like the generation younger, like the 40-year-old dads that are like, oh, I really want him to skate, but he likes his scooter.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, man. I had a kid come in the other day. His parents wanted to buy him goggles, and he did not look up from his screen the whole time he was in the shop. It was fucked. I was just like, I can't do this. I'm not doing this. If you want to put the goggles on his head, here they are.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking, you can't even get your kid to look at me. Like, he literally didn't stop staring at that fucking screen the whole time he was in the shop. And it's just like, kid's going to you're taking this kid snowboarding, what for? Get him some fucking virtual reality goggles or something. Plug him into a snowboard thing. He's not fucking interested.
Turn it, gamify it.
Yeah, he's literally not interested in the world around him. It's terrifying how fucking connected to the technology these kids are.
Yeah, yeah.
It's sort of part of the skateboarding thing too, I think. That I had a mum say to me recently, he's been to 3 lessons and he still can't even drop in. And it's like, well, fuck. You drop in. It's hard. Like, the sport's hard. It's not a sport.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's easier on a scooter. So a lot of kids are sticking with it because
the mum was upset though. It was like, I thought I'd see more improvement in. It's like, wow, how many? He's been doing fucking. That's 3 hours of skateboarding.
You
total.
do 3 hours of skateboarding and let me know how you go.
Yeah, you're going to be struggling to stand on it. I mean, the reality is 3 hours is not long enough to learn a fucking thing.
Yeah.
I think someone forgot the 10,000 hour thing. At some point, that 10,000 hour rule has disappeared. But that's how long it takes to get good at anything. The reason I'm good at selling snowboards and understanding information about snowboarding and skateboarding.
You've done 20 hours.
28 years of doing it, right?
Yeah.
I can tell you anything you need to know about a snowboard or a skateboard because I've done it for 28 years. The reason I can tune a snowboard so well is I've done it for 28 years. But you don't get good at shit in 3 hours. Like skateboarding, it took me I reckon, I couldn't even tell you how many hours before I could ollie higher than a brick. And I'm talking about a sideways brick that big. Like, it would have taken that much to get that far off the ground, probably took 1,000 attempts. To get that far off the ground, another 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Like, it just was exponentially. You had to do everything so many fucking times. It grows so slowly, skateboarding. And then to flip a board, God knows how many 1,000 attempts, how many shoes you go through just to learn how to fucking get a board to do what you want to do.
Yeah, with how fast the world is growing and developing, we're definitely forgetting that art and skill takes time.
You can't get good at anything without the effort.
Because ChatGPT or whatever the fucking...
Chat what? Fuck, I'm so happy you just did that.
No. Chat
what?
ChatGTP?
GPT.
PT? Fuck, I get it wrong every time.
ChatGPT.
Chat.
That was the best one yet. Didn't even get the letters.
ChatGTP.
ChatGTP.
Chat.
What did I say? I said PT. You've got me fucked now. ChatGTP. Oh my God, GPT. I don't fucking even know anymore.
Chat.
GPT.
No, I'm saying chat.
Fuck. I don't want to talk about this because you're messing with my brain now.
Just because that program
ChatGTP
can produce answers and images and whatever the fuck it wants within seconds.
Fucking, can we edit this whole bit out?
doesn't mean that humans can.
No, it's hard. Everything's hard. Like, things are fucking hard. I'm now, 4 years into climbing, like bouldering, and I suck. Like, I don't suck, but I feel like I suck. I'm at this plateaued point in it, and I'm like,
Where are you
it's
at?
driving me crazy. I don't know. I'm at fucking wherever I'm at.
What tags are you climbing?
It doesn't matter because they change so quickly.
Yeah, okay.
Like, nothing makes any sense at that fucking gym. Like, I can cruise up yellow, greens, and pinks like they're not even a climb. They're not even.
And then it depends on the
and
climb.
Then orange is like V5, 6 or whatever on the other scale, and blue's 7, 8, or however it works. And those two grades, I can either cruise up them or I can be stuck. I'm still not getting white tags at all. Jojo, who works for us, gets them. But in saying that, like, he came in the other day and went, I can't fucking get that blue tag. Like, so that's a full grade down, and he was just like, fuck.
Depends on who sets it and who doesn't.
And the style, but like,
But that's
I
4
spend
years.
maybe
So how many?
10 hours a week doing that.
Yeah.
So that's about 2,000 hours so far. So I'm 8,000 hours away from being
Good.
I'll be dead. I'll be 100 before I get good. Like, that's another what? Fuck it, how many hours did I just say? I'm doing 500 hours a year. Shit, I need another 15 years or something. I'll be 68. I don't think I'll be very good at 68. Yeah, I'm going to never get good. I need to spend more time there.
Yeah, I'm quitting, going full-time climbing.
Yeah, I mean, that's how hard it is to get good at shit. And I'm like, no, I'm definitely, like, if I went there, if I was at the skate park, my climbing level would be better than most. Like, I'd be skating around comfortably doing crooks on the fucking, I'd be good. But there'd be a guy that could just do switch heels over the box, and I can't do them. And I'd fucking feel like a dick because I can't. But I also don't feel like it's a sport where you have to get good either. There's a point where you can just
it's not like going to the skate park, because the skate park doesn't change every day, like every week. Whereas you go to a climbing gym,
something will come to you.
Yeah.
There's a bet going on between. I wonder if they listen to this. It'd be funny if they did. There's a guy who I climb with, Nick, who bet. There's a girl who he brought to the gym called Nikki. They work together. And the bet was that she couldn't get a blue tag before February 7, I think, this year. And if she does, she gets his car. He bet his car. And I'm like, you're fucking out of your mind, dude. Because she's a powerhouse little climber. Like,
well,
she's
that's
probably
a big bet.
Yeah, she's your size. She'd never climbed at all 7 or 8 months ago.
Yeah.
But she's about your size, like maybe a little shorter. But when I first saw her, I'm like, oh, she's got a perfect climbing physique. She's short, but like good sized shoulders, strong looking girl, not heavy, not like, just a really athletic looking girl. And then I think about a month in, I saw her on something and her legs were like full, almost splits, but she had power in that position. She could still push off. And I'm like, I went over to Nick that night and went, you're fucked, dude. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, dude, she just pushed off that thing with one leg in this position. And he's like, did she? And I'm like, yeah, like, you go do that, bro. You won't be able to do that. There's no fucking way any one of us guys could do what she just did. She's athletic, she's flexible, she's powerfully flexible, and she's got no fear. You're in big trouble.
Say goodbye to your car.
Yeah, and last night she was one move away from a blue tag. She just can't get the finish, but she's going to get it, man. She's jumping for it. It's a pretty good hold up the top, and if she can just get that hold and then fucking match, she can't tap. She's going to, trust me, it's going to have to be a full controlled 3 seconds, because he will not give up his car otherwise. But she kind of swings off it, but the start of it is meant to be a run and jump, but she's so flexible, she's able to do it statically with the splits. and she can slab her way up a dynamic move.
Whoa.
And I'm like, is this count? Does this count? And Nick's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, that's not the intended way to do it. She's basically breaking the whole beta, which is what they call the way to do it.
Yep.
She's breaking the beta to get up. Does it count? And he's like, fuck, it's a blue tag. She's climbing it. I'm like, you're going to lose your car, bro. That just went up. Like she's got 3 weeks to figure this out, and she's one move away. And it was pretty funny because I don't know. I mean, she probably won't take his car, but I'm going to make sure he at least feels like she's going to take his car. So many people are rooting for this girl. We've been helping her from day one.
That's so funny.
As soon as we found out about the bet, I was like, oh, if you need any help, you come and get me. If you want to know anything about anything, even when it was like, what shoes to buy, she came and spoke to me. I'm like, yeah, I'd get these shoes. Like I was full giving her Meg info and just helping her out as much as we can. Angus, one of the other really good climbers, is always helping her. And like everyone's trying to get her to get this car.
That's so good.
But yeah, it's like one of those things. Apparently I have a bet with her, which I didn't know about. I probably made it though, that if she gets a non-slab blue tag by, I think it was June, I gave her way more time because I don't think she'll, like they're the pure power ones.
Yeah.
I have to wear those shoes with the toes.
Oh.
Apparently that was the bet I made. Because I was like, some dude was climbing in those shoes with the toes, and I'm like, you fucking, what the fuck, bro?
Oh my gosh.
Firstly, you shouldn't be allowed in here with them or
like,
anywhere.
Do you have to wear them for like a full day or have to wear them climbing?
I don't know. She's not going to get it anyway, so I'm good. I was a white tag. I don't even think it was a blue tag. I'm sweet. It was a bet I couldn't lose, so. Okay. Mind you, I bet you Nick thought that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's strong, man. Some of the girls are fucking weapons. If they stick to it, they get good. Because especially if you're a yoga, Pilates, gym goer, like those 3 things will help you climb. I think they'll help you skate, snowboard, surf.
Pilates and yoga is just good for life.
Right? It's all core.
It's also balance.
Which is climbing and skateboarding and snowboarding.
And it's also holding a pose in a position where your muscles are like... There's yoga poses that I do that my quad goes like that in it because I'm like, holy fuck, all my body weight is in this position in a weird dynamic move all on my quad.
Good for all board sports, climbing, anything that involves core.
Yeah.
It's super cool to watch. I actually really enjoy watching some of the girls progress because they have to overcome things that the boys don't. Like the boys don't have to overcome fear.
Yeah.
There isn't any. It's just not built into us. Even at my age, I still don't have a great deal of fear of jumping when I'm 5 meters off the ground.
Oh, fuck that.
Whereas the girls will like get 3/4 of the way up a climb and just cruise up.
It's always my left foot.
That last dynamic move, they'll just be terrified to jump at something. Whereas we're like, oh, I'll bounce out of it. I'll be sweet.
Yeah.
I think we fall a lot more in our lives, maybe.
Yeah, you would.
Like we just climb trees and dumb shit from such a young age. We just don't have a fear of falling like girls do. So, but Mickey doesn't have that. Because Mickey and Alex, the 2 of them, they're both girls, they started climbing at the same time. The gap between them's huge. Like Alex is just getting pinks and Alex is way taller, should technically be the better climber. Not even close, but you can see the fear.
Same with snowboarding too. Like I've gone riding with girls and like I've gone like way past them and they've just kind of stopped and it's a confidence thing.
I think a lot of people get to that begin immediate stage, right?
Yeah.
That's a great video if you haven't seen that on Instagram. Begin immediate.
Yeah, it's confidence. And like even like hitting like rails and boxes, like I'm going at them and I'm just like, go faster, it's better. Like faster is better.
I think a lot of that's a big factor. Right? A lot of people really fear speed.
Yeah. And like even just going down the hill straight fast, they're like, fuck no.
It's natural to be scared of that.
Yeah. So if you start younger too, you're more inclined to.
Yeah, and I think all boys are encouraged, weirdly, sexistly, to go do shit.
Yeah.
I think we're more annoying. So our mums probably told us to get the fuck out of the house.
Well, yeah, you've got different hormones in your body.
Yeah, we're testosteroned up.
I grew up in a house full of boys and was surrounded by
Well,
guys.
you don't have that fear. Well, you generally don't. Like in your snowboarding world, you don't.
No.
I've seen you try to skate too. You didn't have a lot of fear.
No, none.
That was stupid.
And especially if you give me some alcohol. Fucking hell.
Yeah,
that's my phone alarm for some stupid thing.
Oh no. I can't hold this fort alone. Yeah, anyway, so...
Oh my God, I don't know where it is.
What do we think about... Where the fuck are you going? This
I can just hear it going...
just falling to pieces, everyone. Oh, there she's back.
Sorry, everyone. I can just hear my phone in the background going...
What was the alarm for?
Social media.
That's how it happens when you own your own business. It's fucking, 8 o'clock at night?
Yeah, and I'm in a social media alarm.
Yeah.
But that's also because I've chosen to give myself time blocks. So I'm not like that younger generation that's just fucking tapped in.
Yeah, right. My phone and me have a love-hate relationship. I will use it the way
it's meant to be used.
It's meant to be used, but then I will get trapped in reels.
Yeah.
And to be honest, though, if I wasn't looking at those reels, I'd probably be watching television anyway. So it's not like it's obtrusive in the sense that it's overtaken my life. I don't use it. I don't look at reels during work hours. I don't fucking really, like I won't.
I'll call bullshit.
Maybe for fucking a couple of minutes, but not hours on end.
Yeah.
But I go to bed now and I read, not a phone.
What?
A book.
What book are you reading?
The Daughter of Auschwitz.
Really?
It's fucked up. Yeah.
I
always read historical stuff. I love it. I've
got a book that I've been like, fuck, Al would love this. Or not love this, but this would be a really good book for you to read.
Called?
Tuesdays with Maury. But I didn't think you were a reader, so I never brought it up.
I've started reading again because fucking Allegra called me out on it.
Really?
She said something about, I can't remember whether it was her or someone else. I think it was her. We were talking about reading and I was like, I haven't read a book for years. And she's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like she fully was upset with me. She made me feel bad. So I just went and bought a bunch of books.
What books did you buy?
The Daughter of Auschwitz.
Yep.
The Stable Boy of Auschwitz. Weirdly. 2 kids that were in Auschwitz during the war. Obviously. There would no other time when they would have been in there. Little kids, tiny kids, and their stories are just incredible. So, and I bought the History of Heavy Metal.
Nice.
Which will be something I'll read probably in Japan.
I have a book on Auschwitz.
I've read a lot of books on Auschwitz.
He was a psychologist.
What's it called?
Prior to, I know what.
I've got a funny feeling I've already read it. I love World War II history. I love the whole Nazi history. It's so horrifying.
I was going to say you love it.
No, I love reading about it.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, because you've got family history.
Yeah, my grandmother was in Treblinka concentration camp. One of them. One of the Polish concentration camps.
She got shipped off to.
Yeah, she had a tattoo. Went up her wrist with the little Star of David and a bunch of numbers.
And that was like her inmate number?
Like, they weren't prisoners. They were ready to be killed. I don't know. I don't even know. I think it had something to do with the ghetto maybe beforehand. They started numbering and tattooing Jews really early. The whole thing was horrifying, man. Like the shit that went down, like Jews were just treated like cattle,
cockroaches,
livestock. Yeah.
It was horrible.
Yeah, this Daughter of Auschwitz it's more of a Polish. I might have that concentration camp wrong for my grandma. I can't remember. Anyway, she was a Polish Jewish kid, and just the most horrific fucking stories about the ghettos and what her dad had to do to save them, and her mum, like the way her mother protected her, and just the odds of basically surviving were so low. She was one of only 5 children that survived Auschwitz.
Crazy. I might want to read that after you.
You won't.
I
know how you get fucked up.
I don't like light books.
This book's not light. It's anything.
I'm saying I don't like them.
You'll cry your way through it.
This book that I want you to read, Tuesdays with Maury, cried every single time I picked the book up.
I don't get emotional about it because it's history.
You won't get emotional about it, but I picked up the book and I was in Bali with Neil, and every time I opened the book, fucking tears.
Really?
Tears. Great. And I'd be like, poolside, people drinking cocktails next to me. I'd be like, I'll try, read my book again, pick it up and just tears, close it. So I can only read it in the hotel room because otherwise I literally was sitting poolside, sunglasses on, going.
It sounds so great. I can't wait. Yeah. I don't know, there's some stuff that everyone should read, you know, like all the anti-Semitic fucking rhetoric at the moment because of what's going on with Israel and Palestine. Like, people should still, people get grouped together. Like, all the Jews are bad because of what's happening with Israel. Well, fucking someone who is now a New York Jew or an Australian Jew or they got nothing to do with that. And they do come from people that were fucking persecuted. And so anyone who's anti-Semitic really needs their fucking head read. It's an insane thing to be. As a non-Jewish person, I find it insane that someone could hate someone for being Jewish. It's fucking staggering because they've been through hell. And doesn't
justify what...
No, nothing justifies what's going on in the Middle East, but you also have to have a very good depth of knowledge to have an opinion, which...
A lot of
with
people
the Middle
don't.
East, the politics in the Middle East, it's best just to shut the fuck up and have no opinion.
Like, the more I learn, the less I have an opinion.
Or the more you learn, the less you feel like you could pick a side. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah,
what
it's
a mess.
Just like, I can't. Yeah. Like, it's like, well, I feel for you and I feel for you.
Yeah.
And
right now, what's going on in Gaza is fucked. Absolutely fucked. There's no question about that. But what happened on October 7 when we were in Japan or whenever that was, that was fucked too. And then there is an absolute way that they could just stop this whole war, give the hostages back, the war stops. So, like, how do you blame entirely Israel when all they're saying is give us the fucking hostages back? Saying that?
Israel shouldn't be doing what they
shouldn't be killing tens of thousands of people in retribution for a few hundred. But, mate, World War I kicked off because of one guy. One guy got shot in the street and the whole fucking world went to war. So, you know, it's like...
What one guy got shot in the street?
Let's not do this. This is not a history podcast.
Oh, it'd be pretty cool if it was. I'd
No, I don't want to do a history podcast. There's a band named after the guy. Hans Ferdinand, isn't it?
Hans Ferdinand.
Isn't that the band?
I don't know. You're telling the story
He's the
here.
guy.
I'm just listening.
He's the guy who got shot in the street and set off the whole World War. I don't know. I don't know World War I history. I know World War II history.
Yeah, I don't really know World War.
I'll get back to everyone on World War I history.
I know weird wars like the Cambodian War and like stuff like that.
That was a civil war, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fucking horrific.
Pol Pot? Is that Pol Pot?
Yeah. Like killing
that was
fields.
1 million people too.
Yeah, it was fucking insane and so fucking inhumane.
What do you reckon's happening in Rwanda right now?
Oh, I don't think I could handle it. You've told me.
It's happening right now.
I know.
As we speak. Someone will be getting chopped up with a fucking machete as we speak. Like, there's so many wars going on around the world that we just ignore because they're black people or they're not, you know, we don't relate to them or whatever the fuck. We just pretend it's not happening. Well, it's staggering.
Like, I think maybe with news there's a fine line between...
No, the news preys on money. They want eyes on their news. People don't care about what's going on in Rwanda.
Or some of it's too horrific for people to watch.
Mate, we can handle it. We can handle it. We need to see it or else it doesn't stop.
I've been exposing myself to that since from year 8. Everyone had to pick a subject to do a presentation on, and I picked child soldiers in Africa. That was my topic.
It hasn't changed.
In year 8.
So
and everyone else was picking like other just normal topics.
What year was it when you were in year 8?
That would have been like 2004, 2005.
So 21 years later, still the same.
Yeah.
Still the same. The Ethiopians are in Rwanda. I don't know. You'd need to know. I read about it recently and it was a lot. I was like, what the fuck? What a mess. But yeah, there's a war going on over there that's pretty severe.
I started reading a book, had to stop halfway through, but it was about sex trafficking and them taking women against their will, like saying, hey, come and work in a restaurant in Thailand, and they'd come across the border from whatever country it was, or other countries and da-da-da-da, and then they'd just be put in a brothel and fed drugs and forced into sex slavery.
That's common.
It's so common, and nobody fucking talks about it.
No, because they're the wrong colour. It's fucked up. The world is so racist.
Or there is men or people of higher power that are profiting off that or partaking in that.
I guarantee they're men. There'd be very few.
I didn't
men,
want to be sexist.
No, I think it's fair.
But I'm not going to say that there are no female brothel owners, because even in this book there was.
You know, it's an absolute fact there's more people in slavery today than there ever was during the American
I knew that.
slave trade, the African slave trade.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they had a civil war about it.
Yeah.
But
there is more slavery today
who's going to fix
than there was
There's
then.
also 6 billion, 8 billion, however many billion people on the planet. And I'd say only 10% live the way we do.
It's pretty
where
crazy,
we talk about snowboarding trips. And most people don't have the money to feed their family next week.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
To be honest, nor do I. But I'm going to fucking go on a snowboard trip anyway, because we can borrow money in this country. They're called credit cards.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't have the option for that.
No, it's nuts that we do.
Yeah.
They just give us shit. Here, have some more money.
And the
Thank you,
banks
American
just
Express.
keep getting richer.
Yeah, because they're fucking nailing us on interest. I looked at my Amex from our Japan trip and went, oh shit.
24%.
Yeah, I'm paying that monthly right now on that vintage stock that we bought for you guys. Anyway, let's go home.
This has been a
Super Not Positive 2025.
few tangents in
Hey,
there.
the world has problems, but we're not here to solve all of them. We're here to print t-shirts for you or sell your snowboard.
And occasionally tangent and talk about them.
Be really good if you guys subscribe this year. Liked and subscribed. I don't know what the like does, but subscribe.
YouTube, like. Spotify, like. Apple Podcasts, follow.
Oh, follow. Like, subscribe, and follow.
All of the above.
Because if you do that,
We see your likes, but we need subscribers.
we might not have to borrow so much money from the banks. And then we could go on more trips and report back to you with more information about where to go. I can be your guide. Digital guide.
Oh, God.
That'd be great.
Digital guide for what?
Snowboarding.
Oh, okay.
What else would I be a digital
I was
guide
going
for?
to say.
I'm not going to go do war correspondence. All right.
Welcome
Sweet.
to Al's Chats on politics and
Here
history.
we are in a field in Rwanda. I'm about to die. Yeah, no thanks. Fuck that.
Well, I'm semi-excited for this year to bring it back full circle to the start of this podcast.
Yeah, I think this year could be good if we get our shit together.
Well, fucking
And
let's do that.
when I say that, I mean everyone gets their shit together, not me personally. And I mean
Your
the world.
shit's together. No shit.
I have heaps of shit. I'm saying the world. I think...
I was like...
Does Trump get inaugurated tomorrow? Today? Yesterday?
I don't know. Different day,
We're in a
right?
new Trump era. The last Trump era was very prosperous, apparently, apart from the pandemic. But apparently the world's economics were quite good through that period. So it'd be nice to get back to that.
Yeah. The stocks will hopefully do
Yes,
well.
they reckon stocks might increase by 20% this year, this calendar year.
Wow.
They increased 20% last calendar year.
Mm.
If they go another 20, that's good for a lot of people.
Yeah.
If interest rates come down a bit, that's good for a lot of people.
So positivity all round.
Peace.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya.